Welcome back to All Things Love. Please like, share, and subscribe. So, this particular story came across my news feed, and I decided I would speak on it. So, the story goes like this: a married couple hired a nanny, a live in nanny, to take care of the house and to take care of the children. At the time, the couple had two children, two daughters. And so, I guess the wife worked a lot, but the husband decided to hire a nanny, and the difference between the nanny and the wife is very, opposites. Like the wife is all serious and all cold and all, distant, and the nanny is young and pretty. And so the nanny ends up getting, but before she lived in the house, so as they would tell the story, they got close. They was like a whole family. Imagine you sitting at the table with your nanny, and imagine your nanny, around. Your children know her. Your children have been close to her. Everybody's like a big happy family, and everybody just laughing and hee haw hawing. And the whole time, the nanny is behind the scenes sleeping with your husband. And to top it off, the nanny gets pregnant. So when the wife finds out that they were having an affair, she fires the nanny. And so the husband dies. So now the nanny takes the wife to court to sue her for the work that she paid, for the work that she done, and she wasn't being paid. So the judge had to keep asking her. She said, now remember when you signed that contract, and it talks about you remaining professional at all times. She said, well, I don't think sleeping with the boss is professional. And I seen a guy reacting on it, and he paused it, and he was saying stuff like, he said, yeah, but now this is from a man's perspective, because remember, the man, the husband, is the one that hired the nanny. But it was a guy who reacted on it, and he said he was trying to say that the girl, it wasn't just the nanny's fault, it was the husband's fault as well. And he was trying to plead her case in a sense like, well, yeah, it takes two to tangle. I mean, yeah, you could blame the girl, but what about the husband? I mean, it's his fault. It's his fault to blame too, and all those things like that. Because what I feel like is if the husband hit on her in any type of appropriate way, she would go to the woman, right, and tell her, look, I need my job, but your husband's making some unwanted advances towards me, but she wanted it. So she's sitting up there in the courtroom, 6 months pregnant, y'all, by this woman's husband that has died. And now she's wanting money. And she tell the court that the woman got money, and the judge is telling her, she's like, well, how do you feel? How do you think those daughters are going to feel knowing that the whole time you was laughing and playing and singing after them, you was behind the mother's back sleeping with their dad. So, yeah, you can blame the man because we already see what he was thinking about, but it doesn't justify that. So now she in the courtroom suing the wife because she said she need the money. And she was just pouting and she wanted sympathy. And I'm telling you, like, I didn't have sympathy for her because, I mean, you rolled the dice because in real world, it may have not ended so nicely. You got crimes of passion here. Sometimes people spaz out and they snap. Being that they have entrusted this young woman to come in. So why would you hire? Because the husband did, because his mind wasn't in the right place to begin with. So yeah, he's probably responsible, but he ain't here now. So I was looking at it, I was like, wow, your husband left you to deal with all of his mess. And then the nanny was saying stuff like, he would want her to take care of me. Y'all, she was old one. She wanted some money. But the judge told her, and then to top it off, the wife petitioned the court for a DNA test because her allegations was that the young nanny, because she would talk to her. Remember, they was family. She was living there. So she probably was trying to throw her off, now that I see it in hindsight, making the nanny think that she had all these other guys that she was dating, but the whole freaking time she was dating her husband. So I feel like now that probably was just a guilt trip because she didn't want the nanny probably was asking, well, you ain't going nowhere. What are you doing? I don't see you out dating. And I guess she was like, ooh, she may be sensing it. But the whole time the girl had fell in love with the husband, y'all, because she in there telling the judge, well, we fell in love. We're in love, man. And it was just slowly breaking that wife down because her husband had like an unexpected heart attack. You see the karma in that? It's like whatever his demons and whatever his skeletons was came out, and they all ended up landing on his wife. And so the judge told her, she said, well, look, I don't think you acted in your professional. She said, because when you're supposed to be professional, you're supposed to do things professionally, especially, she said, and this goes without saying, sleep with somebody's husband, let alone you're carrying a man's child. So now you want sympathy. She's like, no. So you don't get paid for that. She said, because you ruined it by doing what you did. And so when they got the paternity test, it came out to be the husband's, y'all. And so the judge told the girl, because she didn't want to just be, non-sympathetic with her, because now she bawling now that the test results come out in her favor. Because, like I said, I was thinking, maybe it may not be his, but now if they got money, quite naturally, she already had the meal ticket. She had this wealthy man, She didn't have to pay for rent. She didn't have to pay for nothing, man. Plus, man, imagine that. And so the judge told her, she said, this is going to be very hard on you. It's going to be very, very complicated. She said, but you're going to have to sue the estate of the husband. And she said that could be very, very hard to do. But she already proved that the baby his. It ain't going to be that hard. That girl, whether that man is here or not, that's probably why she did get pregnant, huh, y'all? Seemed like that old young girl that ain't from this country no more than what the wife thought she know. Ooh, y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. How would you feel if that happened to you? I tell you, you can't trust nobody now, can you? It's like these wealthy couples, they be so wealthy that they be too busy, you know what I'm saying, climbing the ladder, because you could tell they were wealthy. They probably lived in a beautiful home. They got to keep that up, but they probably got generational wealth. But they really are not in love with each other. It's just a business partnership. And most of these men, they're not going to let go of that independent, that abundant marriage. So they go get them some on the side. But I feel like that was way too close for home. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This is All Things Love. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you in the next one.